What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Nerd Nostalgia Podcast. You are probably wondering, why did these guys take so long to upload this episode? What's the deal? Well, the deal is that it is a great week to be a nerd. And truth be told, there's three main reasons why we took so long. The first on the agenda, Hawkeye debuted Wednesday, today. That's why we're debuting this today. That's what we're primarily going to talk about today. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about Spider-Man, more than likely. If I get my ticket, I still don't know. And then 3, The Witcher. So this week we have Hawkeye, Spider-Man No Way Home, and finally The Witcher, all debuting new content, new stuff. That's not even including the Wheel of Time, which should be added on here, because if you're not watching the Wheel of Time, you definitely need to. That said, please, guys, head over to Apple Podcasts, drop that 5-star, tell your friends, family, and coworkers about us. I will caveat, this is going to have the first few minutes be a spoiler-free, but then I will tell you once it's going to hit the spoiler. All right, here we go. Let's get started. All right. Well, let's get into it, guys. This week is going to be epic. So not only did you hear in the intro that the Nerd Nostalgia Podcast is going to be delayed, but that means that we're also going to be delivering 3 different pieces of content this week. So we're going to review this episode of the Hawkeye show because it was pretty freaking epic. We are going to discuss Spider-Man No Way Home, hopefully tomorrow. And then we will recap with The Witcher. So it may happen that this is going to be a Friday and then Saturday and or Sunday release. So Wednesday, skip a couple days. Friday, skip a couple days. Sunday. I'm thinking that's how we're going to do it. And then we're going to have our regular release back on that Tuesday to get us back on schedule. And then next Tuesday's episode is a nice special one. We're going to have some guest hosts. We're going to talk about Christmas movies and the holidays. So very excited to debut that one. We linked up with another podcast, very similar to ours, very similar concept. They actually have more people than us, but no spoilers for that one just yet. I'm excited to have them on board regardless. That being said, let's talk about Hawkeye. Kate Bishop, my girl, Haley Steinfeld. Love it. Love her. She's amazing. She's so gorgeous. Now, this episode, I really did enjoy. So let's talk about it overall. So far, we are on episode 5 of potentially 6 from what I've read. I'm thinking maybe there's going to be a secret episode. I don't know. That would be pretty dope. Just because where they left off this last episode is a pretty big deal. It's going to open up the Avengers kind of plot. Well, the universe. I don't know. A lot. It was a big movement. It was a big move by Kevin Feige, and really interested. That being said, talking about the episode overall without any spoilers right now, I'll tell y'all when those are coming. You'll hear some dings. Overall, really enjoying the series. If you haven't watched it yet, highly recommend. It's essentially going to be a Home Alone meets Die Hard meets The Avengers. It's fun, it's lighthearted, it has action, it has beauty in the form of Haley Steinfeld. If you're into Jeremy Renner on the female side, by all means, also there for eye candy. Then you have Miss Echo. She's a cutie. She is actually deaf. 10 points to House Marvel. Gryffindor over there. I imagine they're Gryffindor. I don't know. I'm a Gryffindor. That's why I'm saying it. But 10 points to Kevin Feige and his House of Marvel, because they actually hired a deaf actress to portray Echo, a.k.a. Maya Lopez, in the show. And shout out to Alaqua Cox, who is the actress portraying her as, number 1, she's a very attractive young lady. Number 2, she is just crushing the role. Without stepping on any toes or saying anything inappropriate here, it's difficult already to portray some of the things, emotions that actors and actresses already do from a verbal standpoint. And she's even heightened above that, and you can see the facial expressions. So when you're watching the show, I want you to really look at her facial expressions and see the emotion there. And so I think she's absolutely crushing it. So super excited that Kevin Feige was able to have, I don't know if he even had a hand in that, but 10 points House Marvel for getting that. House Marvel, House of Mouse, whatever you want to call it, whichever one, same, tomato. Again, it's a lighthearted show, lots of action sequences, lots of funny stuff, very close to the source material, the Hawkeye run from a few years back. I don't want to say it's anything deeper than 5 or 6 years. I can't quite remember when it's from, but I would say about 5 or 6 years. It seems to be following that a lot, including the debut of a particular character that, not the big character. There is a big character that debuted in this episode, but a minor character that is a fan favorite. So, with that being said, we are about to hit the 6-minute mark, so I think this is a perfect point for you to stop listening if you are not wanting to listen to spoilers. If you don't care about spoilers, listen on, brother or sister. It's perfect. We're about to talk about it because it's really big, and I can't discuss it without that. So, final warning, spoilers are incoming. I told you I would get you some dings. That means spoilers are here. Spoilers. I don't know how much longer I can say spoilers. It's been about 30 seconds. Spoilers. Okay. So, now that the people that haven't watched the episodes, let them come back and listen to this portion later on after they've seen it. Okay, so Lucky is who we were talking about before. That's Lucky the dog, obviously. Small spoiler alert on that one. Not a big deal. It's a dog, cute dog, fan favorite, whatever. Loves to eat pizza. There is actually an episode where a comic where it's completely through the eyes of Lucky, I believe. I can't remember which one it is, but I'm almost positive. Anyways, Lucky's in it, but more importantly, mother effing, I didn't want to curse, Kingpin is in this. Our Kingpin from the Netflix series, Charlie Cox's Kingpin, Vincent, I'm going to butcher this last name, Donofrio. Irvin parla l'italiano, puoi dire che cosa. Alright, anyways, yes, Vincent is in it. It's epic. He crushed it as Kingpin. Everybody loved him. Very much so a fan favorite. Daredevil, just in general, that whole arc. If you haven't seen it, go on and watch it. I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but definitely hunt it down and track it down. It is some great TV action sequences, arcs, stories, all that. Daredevil, number 1, in my opinion. Punisher, right on par with it as number 2. From there, you have Jessica Jones, which was pretty good. It was interesting. It was a different style, so that was always fun. I enjoyed Luke Cage as well, and then you had The Defenders, and then finally Iron Fist. That would be pretty much my rank. Now, that being said, a big one that I just mentioned was The Defenders. So the fact that we have Kingpin here means that we should have Daredevil, which in turn, we should have the Defenders. So I'm thinking that what's going to end up happening is the way that this is going to cinematically happen, TV is going to handle the lower threats, if you will, kind of what's happening in most of these shows. WandaVision was probably the exception, but these lower threats were these earthly threats. Let's call them that. These earthly threats with, Kingpin and things like the Hand and different stuff like that, right? So things that are earthly, like, world dominating, still a big threat, but not to the extent where it's, it's an alien army or an alien himself or a planet devouring sentient being, like it's not at that level. It will affect them, and I think at some point in the movies, they're going to kind of have small cameo roles in them, maybe bigger roles, but I imagine it's going to be smaller roles, because how much, you can only have 1 or 2 non-superheroes in it, in the Avengers, it was Black Widow and Hawkeye, and you're like, all right, well, it's kind of redundant stuff, super cool stuff, but you're there for the Thor, you're there for the Cap, you're there for the Iron Man. You're there for the Hulk. Like, you want those big wigs. So you can't have an overabundance like, 4 Defenders and, it just doesn't flow. But they will make an impact. I think the Defenders are coming. Everybody right now is so obsessed with Kingpin as a speculation. Everybody was kind of saying it. We heard his voice in the previous episode. Everybody was like, yep, nope, that's definitely him. I don't know if it was in episode 4 or 3, but definitely heard his voice. I was like, no, that's definitely his voice because it's a very distinct one. It was probably in the one before. I think it was titled Echo, so that would make sense. Which she's getting her own series, so I think her stock is going to go through the roof. Her first appearances, I did not pick up on them. I probably won't. I say that. Maybe I'll get like a low-grade copy. I am a fan of different Latin characters. I'm a fan of ethnic characters in my personal collection. That's how I'm starting to kind of gear towards collecting, because before I was just kind of like whatever I wanted. And so my favorite characters, obviously collecting those first, and then some of these ethnic characters are coming into Marvel, into DC, surprisingly a lot more than I thought. So kind of disappointed that Disney hadn't put somebody in the forefront as far as a big character is concerned. So I'm hoping that that they really do put it up there. I think DC is going to put Jessica Cruz on the front lines, along with a Blue Beetle show, or Blue Beetle movie, I can't remember, that's going on HBO Max, I believe, but they're going on the front line. So a nice Latin character, it's someone for the younger generation of Hispanic or Latino descent children to look up to, right? So back to this Hawkeye episode, we were stunned. I didn't think this was going to happen so fast, but based off of the amount of episodes that is going to debut in this, I think it was an appropriate time. I don't know if he's going to make an actual appearance. What we saw is kind of what they did for, and here's another spoiler, Venom Let There Be Carnage. It was an image of another character. So it's definitely multiverse bending, unifying. I don't even know what to call it. So it'll be interesting to see where the future's going. I think I was having a discussion with my roommate about the current status of the MCU and stuff, and he felt that some of these movies were forced down our throat. And I kind of agree, but it's also building the foundation for the future. And so let me explain here. You had the Black Widow movie, which, although a Black Widow movie, it was really to set up Yelena Belova, right? That's your future Black Widow. Realistically, that's going to happen. Not only does she steal the scenes, oh my gosh, she steals the scenes even in this show. Her character is just so well written. And in this show, she's kind of being a bad guy, but it's still reflective in a positive light. She's arguably, I think I liked her more than I liked Scarlett Johansson, to be honest with you. ScarJo, beautiful woman. She was almost day one, but Yelena and Florence Pugh has stolen my heart, even more so than Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop. They were in a scene together, which I loved. The interaction was perfect. I'm hoping we get more girl power stuff between the two of them in the future, because I think it would be dope. It would essentially be like a female buddy cop movie, and I think that would just be a big hit. Now, that's what that movie was for, so I explained that to him. Then I said Shang-Chi is another character that they added, and they're trying to grab some of that Asian market, that Chinese, Japanese, all of it. And they're not going to stop there. We're going to get more characters. Silk is coming. I guarantee you we're going to have what is essentially the South Korean Captain America, Taeguki. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I probably am not. Taeguki. I don't know. It's super hard to say. But him. Ty, more than likely, is what people are going to refer to him as. From there, I went on to expand that there's a lot of characters that have already been dropped in. We have Patriot from the Captain America show and Winter Soldier show. We have Kate Bishop, obviously. Speed and Wiccan from WandaVision. And then confirmation that Miss Marvel is coming. And just ultimately that's going to lead with the remaining ones being Iron Lad and then also Nova, to form ultimately the Young Avengers. And the reason that they're doing that is for longevity. If you notice, all these actors are super young, with Kate Bishop probably being the oldest at 25, but looking like she's 18, Which really, good for her. Good for her, you fair-skinned, beautiful, juvenile-looking, young, beautiful woman. Good for you. Anyways, done simping over her. it's back to the show, back to all this. So I kind of told him all this, that Marvel, House of Mouse, Kevin Feige are laying the foundation right now for the next 20 years. So they are going to start them young. So any kid that, is like 5, 6 can look up to those younger characters and be like, wow, I could be that. I look at this person and I see myself in them. And they're going to age. They're going to age very similarly. And then once it hits a certain age, they'll age out, kind of like what's happening right now. All the old school Avengers are now out of the mix, and you have a paved way for the younger generation. So I think that is going to be a continuous formula. I'm super curious to see how long all of this goes on for, because you have material for the ages. But I digress. Back to this. The show is absolutely amazing so far. I really do enjoy it. If I had to rank it so far without it ending, between all of them, so WandaVision, Cap and Winter Soldier, Loki, and this one, I would rank it Loki, this one, Hawkeye that is, then probably Cap, and then WandaVision. That's how I do it. The only WandaVision, just those first few episodes really kind of annoyed me. Especially the first two. The first two I was just like, what the heck, man? Just wasn't my cup of tea. And then as more Marvel was sprinkled into it, it got better for me. And obviously it's very altering stuff. And then for the people who do love sitcoms, it was perfect. They really appreciated it. And I do. I'm a big pop culture guy, cinephile. I've watched countless hours of TV and movies and such. So I definitely had an appreciation for it, but I just didn't vibe with it. So it'll be really interesting to see how they end up handling the Agatha Harkness show. But that is going to wrap it up for this, guys. It's essentially kind of a review of this first one. The next thing up, which I'm so excited for, I should probably go look for my ticket, is Spider-Man No Way Home. I have a lot of stuff coming up. I actually shout out to the secret mystery box chat on Instagram. You guys are awesome. So we set up this secret mystery box run. So we drew names from an app called Elfster, not sponsored by them, just throwing that out there. If you need randomizer of people to assign it, you can set yourself up in it too. And so, yeah, actually, guys, if y'all want to give us money for advertising for you, that'd be wonderful. But if you don't, that's makes me sad. Anyways, we used them for that. And so basically I told everybody, well, I didn't tell everybody, we kind of voted $75 minimum. You're building it from your PC, so you're not going out externally and building from it. It sounds like everybody exceeded the $75 mark. That was initially the maximum. But it definitely seems like people went above and beyond, which, that's what this is about. It's about the holidays and giving back. So I'm pretty excited for my guy, Alex, shout out Sensible Comics, to get his package. He already knows that he got it. He's actually the last one. It took damn near 2 weeks for it to get to him when I did a 2-day service, but I digress. It's in the past. As long as he gets his package, we're all good. So we're doing a little unboxing this Saturday live on the YouTube channel, Empty Thought Balloon. That's his IG. So Taylor Winder, look him up on YouTube, Empty Thought Balloon. That's his IG handle. We're going to be doing that and unboxing there. So I'm excited to open mine. A lot of content coming up for you guys on YouTube, on Instagram. I'm partnering up with a couple different people, going around and just really delivering as much stuff as possible to you guys. So what that means is you guys get to see this pretty little face on a semi-regular basis. So I'll be doing specs, mystery box unboxings, comic book hauls, dips, and a few other things in store. I'm going to really try my hardest in 2022 to get this content up to par, up to where I believe it should be and that I'm capable of. So yeah, be on the lookout. As always, head over to Apple Podcasts, drop the 5-star, tell your friends, family, and coworkers about us. Help me grow this audience. I absolutely love doing this for you guys. And remember, stay nerdy, my friends. Enter catchphrase here. This is terrible catchphrase. All right, see you on the next one.